I got long arms.
Okay. Getting out of the way.
Breaker one time. This here is Fish, and I'm heading westbound here on I-4. And I'm just wondering, all you eastbounders there, you might tell me about your past. I'll be glad to tell you about your future. Come back now. Believe it or not, I used to be a truck driver. It's been about 20 years now. Hard to believe it's been 20 years, but it's been 20 years since I was a truck driver. And when I was, I got to experience and I got to see some interesting things. Some of those things we will never be able to discuss in this room. But one of those greatest experiences I had as a truck driver is I got to go through what's known as the Smith system of driving. The Smith system of driving made me a better driver. I was no longer that atypical driver that we see out there about to start a wreck at any point in any time. I became a much better driver, a more aware driver, a safer driver. The Smith system of driving is also known as cushion driving, which basically means you get a cushion around you. It's made up of 5 main keys. Those keys are aim high in steering, get the big picture, keep your eyes moving, make sure they see you, and always leave yourself an out. First one, aim high in steering. Now what does aim high in steering mean? Does it mean you're going to be driving down I-4 like, you know, one of those little blue-haired ladies or one of those old men in a hat, boys in a hat, and they're down there like this and they can't even see over their steering wheel? Well, in a way it is. Because what aim high in steering means is you've got to look into the future. You've got to be able to see at least 15 seconds ahead what's happening. Those little old ladies and little old men I was just talking about, they get like this, they get so focused, all they see is that bumper. All they see is, hopefully they see, those brake lights on the car right in front of them, and they see nothing else. They got this tunnel vision. They're so locked in and focused that they don't understand there's other things happening in front of them. One of the things I've learned to do, and I do this when I drive my car now or I drive a motorcycle, is I not only look at the bumper or the car in front of me, I make a point to look at the car ahead of them. And sometimes the car ahead of them if I can see their brake lights. Because if the car 2 down hits their brake lights, the car in front of me is going to hit the brake lights. I'm going to have to hit my brakes and slow down too. So aim high in steering. Next, get the big picture. Really look around and understand what is all happening around you. What are the other motorists doing? Are there any pedestrians maybe walking along the side of the road or about to cross the road? Somebody on a bicycle. Maybe a couple little kids on a bicycle. Maybe some kids on the side of the road playing with a ball. Somebody pulled over, door open. A cop having somebody pulled over, giving them a ticket, and that person could pull all the way off the road. Get the big picture, everything that's happening around you. And then, keep your eyes moving. Make sure you keep your eyes moving. What happens is a lot of people, they get so focused, they get that tunnel vision, and they forget to use their peripheral vision. They're not seeing everything around them. So as you're driving down the road, you should be, look forward, how fast am I going? Look forward, what's happening to the left? Look forward, what's happening to the right? Look forward, what's happening behind me? But keep your eyes moving. It helps prevent you from getting that road hypnosis, from getting sleepy and getting tired, because you're just so focused on what's happening in front of you. Especially if you got the windshield wipers on. Then leave yourself an out. Know this. Whenever you're driving down the road, an accident can happen at any time. At any time, something could go wrong. Could be on your vehicle, could be on the vehicle ahead of you, it could be a mistake made by somebody. So you got to leave yourself an out. Any of you Walking Dead fans? Okay. I'm a big time Walking Dead fan, and since I started watching The Walking Dead, it has changed the way I look at things when I walk into a room. One, which is not related to driving, is I always determine what can be made into a weapon in case one of you turn into a zombie. This flag would work really good, all right? But the other one is whenever I walk into a room, I always want to make sure that I can get out safely. I'm out of here when you turn into a zombie, all right? I will get through that door. Same thing's true when you're driving. You're driving down the interstate. You're in that fast lane over the left. You know, you can go into the medium if you got to. I have before. In a big truck, I went right into the medium. I got stuck too. Had to have somebody come pull me out. If you're in the far right lane, go off to the shoulder if you have to. It's better than being in a wreck. But if you're in that middle lane, I want to warn you, truckers call that the hamburger lane. Because if a wreck happens, you're going to turn into a pile of hamburger because you're just stuck in the middle. However, you actually can be somewhat safe in that middle lane. And people who ride with me hate this because I give a big cushion. I will give 40, 50 feet between me and the car in front of me. My wife will complain, you're letting cars pull in. And I explain to her, they're going to pull in anyway. They're going to go do what we call the Boston lane change, which means you go like this, halfway through, you turn on your signal, and once you're over in the lane, you look in the rearview mirror to see what kind of wreck you caused. Happens all the time. That's how most drivers have gotten to be. So I will leave that big cushion. I leave myself an out. So if a wreck happens, I'm always able to escape. And finally, make sure they see you. Right? Make sure that they see you. That's an important one. Because if they don't see you, what's going to happen? They're going to pull out in front of you. They're going to hit you. There's another saying that went along with this that I learned was no slow go. Okay, no slow go might sound like it's a foreign language, but it's really no, slow, show, go. Know what you're approaching, especially at an intersection. Slow down just a little bit so you can be aware of everything that's happening. Make yourself visible to other drivers. If you got to, wave. Honk your horn. Flash your lights. But be very careful about hand gestures. They don't always work. And in the international community, we got to be careful too because our hand gestures can mean something different than what we thought. But in closing, I want you to know that you can be a safer driver if you apply these methods. Aim high in steering. Get the big picture. Keep your eyes moving. Leave yourself that out. And make sure they see you. Thank you.